Is justice gringo and violence Mexican? The command changed, but what did not change was the inertia that is close to turning the country into a mass grave with the national anthem. Today, it is clear that while in the same week in the United States, Genaro Garcia is sentenced and El Mayo Zambada is tried, in Mexico the wave of violence gives a bloody welcome to the new president. So, if we start from the point that in Mexico apparently nothing happens, and in the USA apparently everything happens, I can't help but wonder if in that logistic justice is gringo and violence is Mexican. Because despite sharing the same problems related to Mexican drug supply and US demand, what the rule of law fixes there, bullets seem to fix here in Mexico. If not, someone explain to me why we have had 6 straight weeks of violence in Sinaloa, while Los Chapitos and Majitos continue with executions and attacks. Everything seems to point to the fact that what we are experiencing here is a product of US hot justice and Mexican injustices. Because since two of the leaders of the Sinaloa cartel were arrested or handed over to the authorities of our northern neighbor, the power vacuum has generated a chaos that has the citizens of one of the most beautiful states in the country scared to death. So, while in the United States citizens are becoming more and more accustomed to justice, here in Mexico it seems that the only option left, not only for those in Sinaloa, but for those in the rest of the country, Mexico, is to get used to bullets. Last week alone, we had 259 murders nationwide, which are added to the 34,000 murders in the 16 days of Sheinbaum's 6-year term, 21% more than last October, and Lopez Obrador. The command changed, but what did not change was the inertia that is close to turning the country into a mass grave with the national anthem. Meanwhile, in the United States, the traces left by the use can be seen in the fact that in 2023, there were more than 36,000 deaths from psychostimulants, up 200% from the previous year, and also that cocaine deaths increased by 5% to almost 30,000. Reflecting in this way that what happens there goes beyond the evil in the Mexican cartels, and that is due to a health problem that perhaps because it is feared to be linked to national identity in the same way that organized crime groups have been linked to Mexican identity is not accepted. So how far is gringo justice? Because what is not attacked there generates violence on the other side of the border, which on its sides leaves deaths accompanied by an economic spillover that surely is taken advantage by U.S. distributors. Meanwhile, the man who was in charge of fighting drug cartels under Felipe Calderon is sentenced because he was found guilty of having links to the Sinaloa cartel, something that we are unlikely to see here in Mexico, and that leads me again to ask if justice is gringo and violence is Mexican. Thank you.